right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show tonight. Tonight we have two special guests. We have Sean Schemel
Schemel.
and
Schemel,
Schemel.
Schemel.
Well, I'll get it right. And we have Pete Schlicht from Prime 8. And we're going to ask them a few questions tonight. Hi, Diana. We have Diana and Ed in the audience. So hopefully some more people will come in. And I guess I'll start with my first question as far as what got you guys into music.
Well, first of all, Mary, what I'd like to do is thank you for having us on. We really appreciate the opportunity for this interview. We look forward to it for a couple weeks now. We've been anticipating this, so thank you very much for having us on. We'd also like to, since there's only two of us on, we do have 7 members. So I'd like to just give a little quick shout out to the members that weren't able to make it. So we have a couple other members that aren't here. We do have Pete, who's our guitarist. I'm Sean, and I'm the singer of Primate. And we have Mikey, who's on bass, but he wasn't able to make it. We got Megan on our violin. We got Jeff on our keys. We got Dave on the drums. Did I miss anybody? And Alex, our second guitarist. Just wanted to give a little introduction to us, and and the rest of the band that wasn't able to make it onto the interview. What got me into music? Obviously, music is a part of everyone's lives, starting at a very young age. I was lucky enough to grow up in the '80s and late '80s and early '90s, so. Had a lot of good music back then. I don't know, there's still good music around today, but I think the music back then was a little bit better in my opinion. Well, except for us.
It's changed quite a bit. Definitely.
Yes, it has. So we were able to grow up. I grew up listening to, a lot of good bands like Rancid and Dead Milkmen and Violent Femmes. Those were some of my influences. Always wasn't really my parents' influences. So when they heard me, singing my songs and listening to what I was doing, they were like, "That's awful. That's terrible. Not something that they really enjoyed." But all the way through, as a young child, I was brought up listening to music. I had an older sister who introduced me to a lot of the music that I listened to back then. And that's some of the things that I was influenced by. Pete, do you want to chime in on some of your influences?
Well, my influences back in the day were a lot of the heavier stuff, Metallica, Slayer, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And I've adapted to, really feel out what genres of music are out there. And I've done a lot of adjusting, coming from a speed metal band to a band that Sean has shown me, there are other things out there, and I appreciate that. And we've got some really, really cool stuff going on. So
cool. Yeah. Well, do you consider yourself more of a metal band then? Is that your genre?
Is that for you or me, Sean?
Whoever.
Well, I think we're kind of eclectic metal. Eclectic metal is, we're a little different than most bands out there. A lot of bands out there are like the 2 guitarists, 1 bassist, singer, and drummer. We got 7 people in our band, and we meld very close. We really try to, open the eyes of people out there that aren't, hearing what. We add a violin to our band, and Megan is ridiculously sick on what she does. She's absolutely crazy.
Yeah,
she is a draw. She really brings it to our band. And Dave is probably one of the best drummers I've ever drummed with, playing for 35 years in the metal scene, from Florida to Ohio to, these guys, we meld together, with Sean's lyrics. Sean writes all the stuff. Alex and I and everybody else really puts the music together. So
Good. That's interesting. Yeah, I wasn't sure if you were more death metal or just metal or how you classify yourself. Eclectic.
We really don't fit a mold. We sort of toot our own horn or whatever. I don't know really what to say, but we don't really fit in any kind of mold. We play with all kinds of bands, whether they're punk rock bands or ska bands or metal bands or rock bands. We don't really have like a genre that we fit into specifically, but we do blend well with very wide range of music.
Nice, nice. Well, that's what I wanted to ask you, like how, like if you create your own music or your own lyrics, or do you use other people's, songs? How do you do that? Basically
We're
original.
100. Yes, we're 100% original. We don't do any covers or anything like that. We've been a band for quite some time. This lineup is a little bit newer, but yeah, we don't do any covers at all. It's all original, yeah, it's definitely all original.
And people take that pretty well then, I guess, because I know with my husband, my husband plays bass, and he's not into the metal. It's more like rock kind of music, that kind of thing, classic rock. But he's been working with a guy in all originals, and it's hard to get a singer for this band, because it's original. They want to do cover songs. So in Pittsburgh, that's what I wondered, like, is that right? It's tough.
It is. We've been a band for 22 years.
Wow.
So
That's a lot.
yeah, we've been around a long time. And our following, we do have a following, and most of our following probably would not be metal fans. They, appreciate the musicians that we have in the band. I'm probably, well, Pete too, and our guitarist probably what makes it metal is more like the guitars and my singing, because I'm more of a screamer than a singer. Just basically what I evolved into with this band. But yeah, I wouldn't say that most of our fans are metal fans. I would say that they appreciate good music and good musicians.
Yes, that's right. I don't think people really appreciate some of the talent, especially in Pittsburgh. We have so much here, and it's just so hard, especially with a live band. People don't come out like they used to, which is very upsetting. If you have your following, that's a good thing. So, well, whenever you do your songs, the lyrics, who's responsible for that? Who's responsible? You're the lyric person. And how about the?
I write all the lyrics. I write about 99% of them. Sometimes, some things come up while we're playing and performing. We'll say, oh, we could add this or add that. So definitely, but I write all the lyrics. Everything's original. Even though I sing in a metal band and we say that this is an eclectic metal band, I don't personally listen to metal. I listen to like singer-songwriter stuff. So that's what I'm more into, something with meaningful lyrics. And a lot of people will say, they don't really understand what I'm saying. So make sure our next album, we're going to have some lyrics on the inside so you can see what we're saying for those that can't understand.
I did listen to your video that you sent me, and I have to apologize because I didn't know what you were saying. You know what I mean? I said, "Oh, okay. Well, you know what? Though sometimes with regular classic rock, you don't know what they're saying either. So."
Which video was that, Mary? Which one did you watch?
It's the one with all the names on, and then you.
Okay, so the one where on like the bridge and the balloon and the violin and all that one.
Yes.
If you look on the bottom, there are lyrics on the YouTube video on the bottom in the comments. So if you want to see what we're saying, you can.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have that linked in the information section too here, so
cool.
That'll give everybody a tip. So
thank you.
Everybody will know. All right. So, well, let me ask you, how's COVID affected your performing? Have you been able to get out there?
I mean, in the beginning when COVID happened, I mean, it affected the whole entertainment world, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
everybody,
absolutely.
we all had shows, we had, things that were canceled. I had some big shows. I had a show planned with Green Jello that had to get canceled or postponed until, until a later date, until it's safe for everybody to go out. We During COVID, we were once COVID hit, it hit us hard in the beginning. So we actually our old drummer Chucky, he actually ended up moving to Pottsville, which is about four and
Really?
a half hours away. Yeah,
Mhm.
so Schuylkill County. So he was like traveling back and forth from Schuylkill County or Pottsville to play with us, to practice with us. We were planning on taking advantage of the time that we weren't going to be able to play out, and we were writing our new album.
Mhm.
And then what happened was, like I said, he moved away 4.5 hours. He was coming back and forth to play with us, but it really was we did that for about a year
Mhm.
during COVID, and we decided as a whole that we would part ways with Chucky,
Mhm.
and because it was just too much going back and forth,
We
trying
got
to
Dave.
do it.
We
We
got
got Dave.
Dave.
Oh,
So,
you had Dave.
so yeah.
Well, maybe
So
it was
during,
a good thing to be that way. I mean, things happen for
I mean,
reasons.
everything happens for a
Yeah.
reason. Other than Dave, we also had during this whole COVID thing, we also had a few new members join. So we had Alex rejoined the band. He left and came back, and we also had Jeff recently join us, who's on the keys, who's from another band he started with, and it was called God Hates Unicorns. They're still out there, but he's with us now.
Oh, good, good. Yeah, I know. Like, well, came to a standstill with my husband, so I know it really affected us big time because it ended
Yeah.
up he got into another band. So, like things changed, but it's better now. So that's all that matters. Like things happen and they turn out for the best. So,
That's right.
well,
Everything happens for a reason.
that's right. That's right. Exactly. Well, can one of you talk about this the big break that you were
Oh,
just involved with?
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Sean. I got to tell you, this was one of my greatest experiences. I've been playing for 35 years now, and I got to tell you, the Big Break was a awesome show. The production was awesome. The bands were awesome. I got to tell you
Mhm.
one thing that even though we put out the best that we could do, we came in second. I'm not ashamed of that.
No, that's good.
These other bands were
Very good.
top shelf bands. We
Mhm.
did what we could. We presented to everybody, and I got to tell you something. I'm very proud of Primate.
Mhm.
Very
Yeah.
proud. So I want to
One
thank you, Sean, and everybody else in the band. Yeah, it was a great time, great experience. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yes, Big Break was very good for us. We were asked to to join the contest back at the end of 2021. That's when this all started,
Mhm.
and basically they asked us to produce a do it yourself video, which is the video that you watched, Mary. We that's our first song that we wrote together with the current lineup that we have in our band right now. So it motivated us to work together to produce to write a song. Basically with the Big Break, they gave you like three items that you had to include in a video, in your
Mhm.
do it yourself video, and those three items was a fork, uh, keys, and a red balloon.
Oh,
So what we did was something we got our creative juices flowing, and we actually wrote a song for the contest. All the other bands, I believe, all they did was just take a song that they already had and put a video to it. What
Right.
we
mhm.
did in a 30-day window, we wrote a song, we recorded the song, mastered, mixed it, recorded a video, uh, edited a
Yeah.
video, all within a 30-day window. So
No,
it
wow.
really brought us together as a whole,
Yeah.
as a team. You know, accomplishing something very special to us. And, obviously it's going to be on our next album, and it really got us, together. And, and then the traveling, we had the most votes online. We got to appreciate all our fans voting for us every day. I think we almost doubled the second place in the votes. So that was very great for the fans to come out.
Yeah.
Then we traveled across the state over to Scranton, Pennsylvania. We did that and won the first round. And then went back for the final and came in second. We had a lot of fans and family out that came out to Scranton, and it was a good experience for the whole band. It was a little stressful at times, but we did indeed come together and accomplish. Had a great accomplishment.
We have a little question here. Kim, she says, which one of you scream sings? That's Sean. And is the style singing more similar to Chris Doherty or Steve Tyler? I don't think it's either one, do you? But yeah. I mean, that's a compliment. No, I don't know if it is or not, really.
I'm the singer, and I don't know if I compare to really anyone. I have been compared to Odorous Ugungus of Guar.
There you go. Now, Kim, do you know that one?
The video will be in the link. You can check it out and make your own opinion.
Yeah, you have to check the link. That's for sure.
That's right. Sure. Check out the link and hit us up. Message us on Facebook and let us know who you think we sound like.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Well, let me ask a question about this contest. Now, did you win anything for that coming in second? Did anything happen out of that, or?
Yeah, go on, Pete.
Oh, well, we got a great video production, a lot of screenshots, a lot of close-up photos. It was you know what? It doesn't matter what we did. If we came in first, second, or third, it was a great experience. And I wouldn't change it for anything. I was very happy with what we did. And you know what? For a small band out of Pittsburgh doing what we did, can't take it away from us, man. Can't take it away.
Yeah. So for second place, what we got is I don't know who's we got some noise. Is that on my side?
I don't know. That's like I don't know if that's Pete. It started when he. I don't think it was me because I got a little thing covering my mic.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's.
I think I'm losing you guys.
Pete, I think it's you, Pete.
It's very static and muffled.
Yeah, Pete, put on mute for a minute.
Here, I can mute you. I can mute him. Let's see.
All right.
Yeah, that's definitely Pete. Okay.
Sorry, Pete, you're giving us some bad connection here. But for second place, what we got, just 1 second, Pete. For second place, what we got was, obviously we got some amazing photos from both shows. We didn't see the photos from the second show yet, but they had a lot of good photographers over in Northeast Pennsylvania. We also get a fully recorded song. They had they mic'd us up and they're going to do one song. They have 6 cameras. They're going to produce one video for us. That's a live video. And it's going to be for a song called Pine Box. So as soon as we get that out, as soon as we get it, we'll get it out there. But I'm looking forward to seeing the video. AL is a good producer, videographer, producer. The guy that ran the whole thing, he is originally from Denver, and then he moved to Pennsylvania, and this is his second season doing it. His first season here in Pennsylvania. He is amazing with what he does, and I can't wait to see what he puts together for us. Like 6 cameras, everything was recorded live on a board, so it's gonna sound basically almost as close as the studio song recording you could get.
Good. Okay, so well, now that we lost Pete, I guess he got mad because I muted him. Maybe I don't know. Hopefully
He'll be
not.
back.
Yeah, hopefully not. Well, so I guess throughout the years, who have been your favorite artists and who has been your inspiration as far as doing what you do?
Well, throughout the years, I've worked with a lot of artists, on the national level as well as the local level. Um, some of my favorite artists that I work with obviously are local musicians here in Pittsburgh. We've worked with good bands like Only Flesh, Oceans to Ashes, God Hates Unicorns. Just to name a few. Neostem. Neostem. I don't know if you know who they are, but they're a local band, sort of like a grunge band. I wrote a couple songs on a new album with Ryan from Neostem. He's going to be featured on our album for a couple songs. I actually just was in Razorblade recording studio with them. I'm going to be featured on one of their songs. We're going to do a video for it. So I really love the local scene. There's too many bands for me to mention, but really love the local scene. I looked at your site here, your YouTube page, before we joined, and I saw you have a interview coming up with Steve Pierce. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, he's
Yes,
a good
that's
friend of
tomorrow night.
mine.
Oh, is
Yeah,
he?
he's a
Oh,
good
yeah.
friend of mine. He's
Yeah.
painted at some of our shows. He's been to a lot of our shows. So he's in the local industry. I actually, he just had a big event at the Black Forge with his coffee, and working with all the locals is very good. And there's just too many for me to mention. There's the list. I'd be here for an hour just naming bands.
Well, it's kind of nice to know that there is, these people in Pittsburgh. Like I say, that's why I wanted to kind of showcase people from Pittsburgh, artists and musicians, because I don't think people realize how talented we are here.
Yeah.
There's so much talent here, and sometimes you see one make it or whatever, but there's just so much, and it's so competitive. Darn, I wished it wasn't like that. But I interviewed him the other day, actually Wednesday, and he will be on tomorrow night. That'll be recorded.
Yay.
But yeah, 7:00. So
I'll check it out.
Yes, 7:00. Yeah, he's very nice guy. So, well,
Yep.
I don't know. This was my last question, so I just wanted to know what was next for you guys, as far as what you'll be up to next.
Yeah, so we currently our next step, we're going to go into the studio next month. We're going to go into the studio for a couple days. We're going to Razorblade studio. That's one of the best in Pittsburgh, I would say. Johnny's very, very talented. That'll be in March. We also have 2 shows coming up in March, March 27th and 28th, I believe it is. We're going to Ohio for the weekend. We're going to go out to Canton for at Buzzbin in Canton. And we're going to be going to the West Side Bowl in Youngstown the very next night. So you can join those events on Facebook. After that, we're going to go over to Squirrel Hill Sports Bar in Squirrel Hill. And that is going to be on April 9th. And then May, we have a couple shows coming up. The one is in the South Side at Casey's. And I think that's 5. I don't know. Check it out on our website. I can't remember the date.
Well, if people want to see where you're going to be playing, you have somewhere where you can find this? Is it mostly on Facebook or?
Yeah, mostly on Facebook. mostly on Facebook. Our webpage, you can find us Primate or Primate Music, all one word. That's PRIME 8, the number 8, and music MUSIC music. And we're also on Instagram. I'm not really all that active on Instagram. Mostly everything is on Facebook. So if you can join us on Facebook, you'll be able to see all our wonderful activities.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Well, we did have another question from Kim. She wanted to know how your voice lasts. How, does it keep going strong, or do you kind of fade out?
I've been doing this a long time, so I know how to kind of pace my voice. We haven't really played all that long of shows recently because of COVID, so we have shortened our set list to about 45 minutes. I'm not like out there screaming for like 3 hours. I don't know if I could do 3 hours,
Yeah,
but
yes, that would be a little
that's one good thing about how close and of a scene that we have and how many friends we have in the business, that when you come see a Primate show, you're usually coming to see 4 or 5 bands. It's not just like one band all night long. I've been to those shows. I kind of find them to get a little boring after half an hour, 30 minutes, 40 minutes of hearing somebody. Never mind hearing the same band for 3 hours. When you come see our shows, they're DIY shows. We would typically have 4 or 5 bands there playing for like 30 or 40 minutes, and then a quick changeover. So I don't really have to go 3 hours, 4 hours. So yeah, if I did, I'd probably die on the stage. I'm not as young as I used to be.
No, you get adjusted. I know my husband has a hard time when he hasn't played for a while. He's been, like I said, with the COVID, he hasn't been out there, but his fingers get a little sore, like they get blistered up again, and it's just hard to keep up, so it's kind of
cool. I think my body is more painful than the voice. My whole body. We're pretty entertaining. We don't just stand there and play. We jump around. So usually the body goes before the voice.
Yeah. I can imagine. Do you know Mark Duffy?
I do.
Okay, he wants to know, are you a gigolo or a juggalo?
It's a juggalo, and I am. Whoop, whoop.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure what that means, but...
Mark Duffy is actually the one who did the drone shots on our video for Empty on the Inside. I don't know if you saw some of the drone shots where I'm on the bridge and he's over the head. Yeah, he's the one who did those shots. So thank you, Mark. Appreciate that, brother.
Okay.
And a juggalo is an ICP fan.
Okay. Okay, now we got that straight. Now, does anybody have any other questions before we wrap this up? It looks like Pete never came back. I guess he was having a hard time getting his sound right. Guess not. It looks like, we do know, Diana, that Andy Warhol did come from Pittsburgh, but there's a few people. Jeff Goldblum, I went to school with him. I actually graduated high school with him, if you know who he is, the actor.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
that's great. That's cool. Were you friends?
No, I was pretty shy back then.
And what was he like?
You know what? I don't know. I just know he was talented. This is a quite crazy thing, but I remember being in a study hall, and it was in the music room, and he was in there and he was playing the piano. And I thought, man, this guy's really talented. He's going to be very famous someday. I didn't think about him being an actor. He does play piano in New York, I believe. He's more of a jazz pianist, but I knew he had some talent somewhere, but me being able to talk to him, I couldn't do it. I kick myself all the time. I don't like that anymore, but so came out of my shell. So is Sean, wait a minute. Is Sean a full-time musician? Are you a full-time musician or? mean, you
I don't really know what that means. I mean, I play every week. I have a real job. I don't really, you know.
well,
I
musician's a
mean,
real job too, but I know what you mean. You
yeah,
can't just do one thing. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I dabble in a lot of different entertainment aspects. You know, I host karaoke sometimes, and
Mhm.
you know, I book shows for other bands, and
Well,
you know, I try to do as much as I can for the Pittsburgh scene. Um, I used to be a promoter for some rappers and all some other stuff that I used to do. I used to run a entertainment called Horse Rock Entertainment. So I full time. I mean, as much time as I possibly can give into the Pittsburgh scene and my band, I definitely do.
well, that's good. That's nice. Yeah, I don't think well, I'm retired now, but I know like even with my art, I can only do it part-time. And even now I can't do it full time like I'd like to, just for some health reasons I've been going through. But yeah, it's hard. It's hard. You have to have that supplemental income, you know?
It, it's a full time job. We have
Yeah,
7 members, and
yeah,
just trying to manage those 7 members to try to make sure everything rolls on a day to day basis is. My
yes.
wife would say that it's a full time job. So
Oh yeah.
on top
I
of
know.
another full time job, on top of another full time job.
Oh
Just
gosh, 3 jobs.
so yes, I am. I am. Yes, I am.
Aw. Well, yeah, it's a hard job. It's a lot of work. But in order to be good, you have to do it. You know, you have to keep at it. So, well, I
Yep.
really appreciate your time, Sean, and I'm so glad you were able to make it because I know you weren't feeling well this week. And I'm just so glad that you were able. It was very nice talking with you, and I enjoyed this very much. And I'm sorry Pete left us.
Yeah.
So hopefully, Tom, I'm not
I'll
happy
give them
about
your. Really, really, really appreciate it. Really, Mary,
that.
it was a great time. I loved the questions, loved your interview. Your
Great.
personality is very nice, and it
Thank
was
you.
wonderful talking to you tonight.
Well, it's nice talking with you too, Sean. Well, thanks again. And we'll see everybody maybe tomorrow night when we have Steve Pierce with us. So,
Yay, Steve
yay.
Pierce,
Okay.
great artist, very
Yeah.
great artist.
Yeah, he is really cool. Cool stuff.
Hmm.
So, all right. Well, thanks again, Sean. Take care.
Thank you.
Hope you're
Bye
feeling
bye.
better.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right,
Bye.
thanks. Bye bye.